Welcome back to a little update video today. We're talking about AMC, GME, BYND, FFAI, NIO, HKD, CRWV, GoPro, RIOT, AI, Unity, and GDC. So as always, I am using the Fractal method, explanation video, how it works, rules, and so on and so on. I will put at the end of the video. Okay, well then let's jump into AMC. So as always, for the big tracking, 1-part squeeze, 2-part squeeze, price, target, and so on, I will link the big update video again at the end of the video. Today, we will talk about several things, but not everything. Okay, then let's zoom in. And before we start, the thing is, with this break today, the higher low, the main tracking, which we had or which I had in the last 2 weeks, is that. And you know me, if you're already looking more than 2 weeks already, I tend to call in some tracking mistakes from other people out, especially when they want to tell me that this is a fucking higher low to this, yeah, and show why I think it's wrong. But that was also the main reason why I started this channel, because I saw so much bullshit, so I really had to make my own one. But I also said always, if I am doing a quite similar mistake, or if I'm wrong, I will say that. And well, it seems like that, especially the last 2 weeks, I was just a stubborn idiot. There's nothing more to say to this, because we don't have a higher low. So this was my mistake. So what is this now? First of all, I thought about it the whole day. We will just talk about every version right now. We just start with the bearish one, because that's just the shortest one, and so we have it off the table. Yeah. If we reject here, if we go down from here, and if we break 141, that's an absolutely no-go. I know in the last weeks we wanted this pullback. With this breakout, no. If you come that low, it doesn't matter if you bounce here, this play is over for 2026. The macro position, if we do that, would be our try peak. No, not 2024, 2021 here. We would be, this here would have been our A landmark. This would be today. This here would be 141. This would be our L, and the rest of the year we would drop. Yeah, just to say that we don't want that. Yeah, but if we break down from here, this is our no-no line for AMC. Yeah. Okay, now to the bullish versions. So I looked at it. We still have 2 versions for the stupid numbers. Yeah, we will come to that in a second. For this, it's absolutely needed that this year, May 22 was our higher low. It doesn't make sense. It isn't a 0.6 or a 786 pullback. It's nothing. But that's the only way to do that. The only thing which I could think about is we went way too long down, so it had to speed up here. So we broke today the 200 EMA, and nothing happened. And I talked about this theory already a few weeks ago. Yeah, because in my opinion, there was also always this theory. This blue line was our 200 EMA. What if the 200 EMA wasn't so important like so many people were saying, because there are a lot of people who said in the moment you break the 200 AMA, you're instantly squeezing, like 2020, 21. The thing is, we didn't do it today because we clearly broke the 200 AMA, but we didn't close. But even in 2021, we didn't. Here's 2021. We had our V, we broke the 200 AMA, but where, in your opinion, where was the point where the squeeze started? Was it with the break of the 200 AMA? Was it on January 2022, 22, or was it already January 15? I mean, that's just an opinion, but for me, the squeeze started here, Friday 22nd. Yeah? And the 200 AMA was just in the way. Yeah? What is, in my opinion, absolutely clear, the 200 AMA was important for the downtrend because it was our stop line. What if now, because we are hopefully finished, the 200 AMA doesn't matter anymore? Yeah? I mean, breaking over the 200 AMA is bullish for every stock. Yeah? But just saying, we broke it in 2024, we broke it in 2023, we broke it in 2022, and so on and so on, you know, even on the daily. Yeah. We even in 2022, we even closed over it for a few days. Yeah. Okay. So much for the 200 EMA. So, the thing is, what are our possibilities now? So, you know me. I'm the opinion, and I think it's fact if you just look back, AMC always goes Monday, Fridays. But there are also cases where you have a strong Monday, you continue Tuesday, and you're peaking Wednesday. Because if you look back in 2021, here, you started a big run on Monday. Yeah? Gap up, Monday run. Tuesday, you continued. Wednesday, you peaked. So we have still the possibility to just continue to run tomorrow or even gap up tomorrow and then peaking on Wednesday. For price targets, well, price targets for our normal squeeze, I'm still the opinion we're doing a two-part squeeze. We would just repeat what we have done in 2021. 2021, we broke over our macro trend line. This is this one. And made a breakout retest on it. And the 618 pullback. So in that case, you have to break over this main trend line. And your 0.5618 is at the trend line. In that case, it would be something around 144. Something in this range. And then the rest of the year, you're doing this bullshit, like in 2021. And then 2027, you can go up on this to this trend line. Or you're just doing a one-part squeeze to whatever high number. But I still think you won't break this yellow trend line. Yeah, just saying. So $5,000 a share or $5 million a share. I mean, if you want to believe that, fine. I need reasonable price targets, and breaking all-time highs is already unreasonable. Okay. That's for the case we're doing stupid things tomorrow and Wednesday. What if not? What if it's just normal going up like today? In that case, for the rest of the week, I would say this was your A with pullback. Your next target is your M, which is 46. 0.5 pullback from your A low till Friday. You're going up and then you gap. What landmark would that be? Well, it would be this landmark here. it would be January 19th to January 2022, 22nd. This would be this week. In the most stupid way, this maybe took 2 weeks, but we need to see price action for this. Because of timing in January. Yeah, I said I want at least to see something stupid and moving till this week, the first week of June. And well, we saw something stupid. Yeah. About GameStop, we will talk also today. But yeah, now we just have to wait for price action. Now to the second version. We were already talking in the last video, the more bearish one. Only because we have this problem, or I have this problem, because we didn't do the higher low. In that case, this would be just a normal A. And in that case, there's still the danger where you also would go up for your B with pullback up to your C. But in that case, you will reject this trend line here. And if you reject this trend line here, this C becomes your T. And that was it for the rest of the year. Yeah. And this would be around $7 to $8. You won't break May. Yeah. And the stupid part is there is no confirmation for this. Yeah. Because you could easily, as I shown with the version before, you just come up here. And then Friday, and then you gap up Monday. The only confirmation is the gap up or the rejection. Yeah, and nobody will be able to tell you 100% which one it is now. That's the sad part. Yeah. So in the best case and in the most easiest case, we just gap this thing and we never have to talk about it again. Yeah. So yeah. Before we jump into GME, one last thing, IWM for AMC, because that's also really interesting. I mean, just for explanation, you have here, both charts are 24-hour charts. Left side is August 2018 till February 2021. Right side is October 2021 till today. And it's quite similar for older viewers what I did with NASDAQ a few weeks, month ago. This is not my theory with rules. This is just a pure fractal. It looks like if something in the market is repeating one-to-one. Because if you're repeating that, if you look at that, you have two peaks. Yeah. In the back in the past in 2020, this was a lower peak. Here was a higher peak, but it's still two significant peaks. You also had a nice U between them, and after, in both cases, you massively dropped down. Difference here is that in 2020 you made a lower low. In 2025 you did a higher low. But the interesting part is that the move after that, in both cases, is landmark-wise, the absolutely same landmarks. Really, the absolutely same landmarks. Difference here is that back in 2020, you didn't broke all-time highs at the end here. Because in 2025, I think because we did a higher low here, this whole section just moved a little bit higher. I see a good case that you are right now somewhere in here. November 2020, somewhere in here. So what is missing? Because for the comparison for AMC, here, January 2021, AMC and GME squares. That means IWM has still this run to do. I mean, I'm not saying, because this back here took you 85 days. I'm not saying this is a long run. Yeah, because if you look at SPY and NASDAQ in general in the market, we're getting more and more vertical. everything gets deeper and shorter. Everything seems to fucking hurry up. So this, what if we do this shit in 2 weeks? And to say this path pattern is taken from here. This path pattern is taken away. And if you lay it over, it's nearly 1-to-1. It's fucking stupid. That's also the reason why I bought today October calls, around and August calls around 320 to 350. I'm not saying this is the only landmark because I think we will go way higher, but just to be safe. This looks fucking interesting. It's an interesting point to be exactly right now. Also, because of Bitcoin and AMC. Because some people are saying we need a gapping Bitcoin, we need Bitcoin at all-time high, we need a breaking out Bitcoin, like in 2021. No. I mean, maybe we need a breaking out Bitcoin, but not like 2021, because here's Bitcoin, January 2021. On the other side, AMC 2021. Look what Bitcoin did. In the moment GME started to squeeze, Bitcoin was pulling back. And in the moment here, AMC started to squeeze, Bitcoin made its low. Yeah. And in the run from AMC to the peak, Bitcoin made its higher low. So I don't think, if it repeating 2020-21, if you think about it, we need a higher low for Bitcoin. We need a pushing Bitcoin. And also, if you look at Bitcoin right now, yeah, that's look fucking interesting. Especially if you have your C, yellow eye, your midpoint, somewhere in here is your T, this is your T. So you're only looking for a V if you not only already found it. So the only thing, if you want to do it 1-to-1, is a higher low. I mean, it doesn't matter if we now track after that a breaking out Bitcoin to all-time highs or a Bitcoin which is knifing to 44K, because the only thing we want for Bitcoin right now, if we're really repeating 2021, is it just has to do its higher low. Nothing more. Also, one last thing for AMC, SPY and AMC. Because there's always the talk like 2020-21. We need a blow-off top in the market. We need a bullish SPY. Well, here is 2021 January for SPY. You see that? In the moment AMC is close, SPY did its pullback. And that's not even a small pullback. This is a 5% pullback in the moment AMC is close. And I mean, I don't know if this was just coincidence here, but for SPY, if you zoom out, this little fucking thing was nothing. Nothing. It would even happen without AMC, in my opinion. So I wouldn't say we have a fucking bullish market. And this could be just coincidence, yeah. But I wouldn't think we need it. Yeah. And especially if you say we need a blow of top in the market, like 2021, it's just not true. It's a lie. Because SPY really pulled back. Yeah. So for the conclusion for AMC, best case, massive go up or gap up tomorrow, peaking Wednesday. Also still good case, we're running up till Friday, gapping next week. Not so bullish case, we don't break $7. Bearish case, we're falling under 141. Yeah. A small thing because of GME. We won't look at anything today about GME, just one thing. I said I fucking want a move this week for GME till Friday. Yeah. And GME really has to start doing that. Because for the GME tracking, this was our higher low. What I want to see for GME is a fucking break of 28 this week, yeah, for a pullback go. Yeah. Main problem, GME is not doing anything right now. Yeah. We even today broke our uptrend. Normally, that's fucking bearish. And right now we are at a decision point because, you know, breakout retest. Yeah, this is fucking this is fucking bullish. But you also have a breakdown retest, which we are doing right now. We have to fucking go over 140, 145-ish. If you still continue here, or even if you reject here, I said to you, if I don't see something really bullish on GME till Friday, I will buy puts. Yeah. And then is the question, if I buy puts on GME, what the fuck is AMC doing then? Because they are synchronized. Also, course is looking fucking bullish. So I have to admit, I bought this and next week YOLO calls for GME because it doesn't get into my head that everything on the memes is looking fucking bullish. Only the shithole of GME is looking bearish. There are only two ways. It's faking us, and we will get this week and next week our confirmation. Or GME is unsynced suddenly of all memes, and only GME goes to shit. There are only these two ways, in my opinion. Yeah? Okay. Okay. That was our two main memes. I know most of you are only interested into our main memes, but I will today very shortly, very quick go through so many other plays. Just saying. We're starting with BYND. So, because we're just doing a quick update today for the big thing, for price targets and so on, just watch the last video or the big update video. Today, we're just looking what we have done today. And because I got the question, is it still bullish? Yeah, nothing changed. Yeah, we still have our A pullback, which still should be was finished on May 19th. Then we did a little higher low. We broke out over our T to our A, and we are now doing this little micro A pullback. In the best case, because we bounced here at the 618, in the best case, this was finished today. And this was already our higher low. Oh, this was already our higher low. Here, it's higher. Would mean upside from tomorrow. If not, yeah, then this is just little T, and we still need one more lower low. Yeah. If you look at this, we could still need, I don't know, 75 cents. The only thing we are not allowed is to touch or break 74. But even if we did do that, then this becomes some weird higher low. And it's still okay. It would be just more time. The only thing we're not allowed to do is breaking 70 cents, as I said in the last video. But otherwise, this thing looks still bullish. Yeah? It's just waiting for something. Yeah? Maybe really every meme is going at the same time and it's just waiting for AMC and GME. But it looks fine. Yet. Now. Next, little update on FFAI. Also here, just a little update. Just one notice again. FFAI ran in 2021 with AMC and GME in January. So maybe this time it will also run. For the tracking, yeah, we have our normal CLMT. Our V should be April 2026. Again, as always, next target for A should be over 4. Your maximum target, because of the reverse splits, will be 150. Yeah. For this little micro tracking here, we have two positions. Yeah. And the only difference between these two positions is the placement of this fucking T. Because if you place T here, this is your A. If you place it here, this is your higher low. Yeah? I was, till this move today, pretty certain, like AMC, that this is just our T, and we still have to come down here, because higher low is always ending in a BYND or at the 786. So we still would need come to 27, down to 27 cents. It's still possible. Main problem I have with this is this T is pretty high up. Really pretty high. Not impossible, but still pretty high up. Alternatively, this is already your little A. So for this, we only have to come down to 35 or 33, something in this range, and then you already bounce. As I said in the last videos, whatever we do, if we go over 47 cents, there is no downside anymore, and we fucking go. So let's see what FFAI is giving us this week. Again, as always, 20 cents. So breaking 20 cents or touching it, it's a no-go. You will go down to 10 cents, reverse split, the listing, whatever. Yeah? As long as you're not touching 20 cents, it looks fine. Next, very short update to NIO. For NIO, one of my or our two best stocks in my opinion, because it's really going one-to-one. If you're really interested in it, just watch the last video. In short, what we are tracking on NIO, because you don't need my method for it, you can just use it looks like back then. We are tracking this move the same as this move. If you compare it, or if you watch the last video, you will see it's one-to-one. And with this move today, it was perfect. I still think, especially with this move today, that we are somewhere in here. May 27, 2020. Yeah? Because this was the perfect bounce today. Yeah? So confirmation would be anything over 658. No way that we're going down again is over $7. And what are we tracking? Well, we're expecting this till end of June, July, and this till end of year, early next year. What we are talking about, the B should be something over $16 to $22. Yeah? And after that, this C is going over all-time highs. NIO looks fucking ready and fucking perfect for a run. Just nice. Next one, our idiot play, HKD. And again, I say that as a warning every time I'm showing this. This is a fucking YOLO play. Yeah? This thing can do something we will talk about, or just go to zero. You only should play this stock with money which you use to fire your cigarette. Really? It's really that stupid. The plus point for HKD is no option chain. No option chain means it has a pretty good possibility to do really something stupid. We are sitting right now at $2. For the tracking, we have our CLMT, our all-time low, our V should be January 2026. We did back here a beautiful higher low, and today we broke out. So for normal tracking, our next A should be over 5, our next B should be over 44. But I don't think that. I think because if you see the T and the M and the L and especially the IPO, that we're not doing A or B. If we repeat IPO, and I don't think we saw the whole IPO. This move was a 16,000% move. If we just repeat the IPO, this stock is shooting you to what is it, 200. Yeah. So, and the next thing, we don't know what this is. This could be A, B, high or low, whatever. Yeah. So whatever landmark this is, it wouldn't shock me if it just break all-time highs. And all-time highs is sitting at $2,000. And this stock had no reverse split. These $2,000 is a real price number. That's why it's an idiot play. Yeah. Just saying, but please be careful. Don't play massive on this. Yeah? Or do it. Do whatever you want. I gave it a warning. No financial advice. Next one, CRWV. Also a tiny update. I was presenting this, I think, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Normally, I'm not liking these stocks because it's not even older than a year, but this tracking was just perfect. We had our V, we ran up to our A, we did a perfect 618 pullback here. After that, we did a hello, broke out. This here is our small A. Small A, we did a 0.5 pullback, bounced, little higher low, and today we finally broke. I bought calls here, and they are up already 500%. It's an expensive stock, but my God, is it paying. What's the next target? Well, next target should be maybe little b, something over 150. In the end, you should break A and go wherever you want for your macro B. But the next thing for June, July should be a small b, 160, 150-ish. Then little pullback like this A, and then we can track it further. But this thing, perfect. Just perfect. Little update to GoPro, just because I got the question how it's looking like because of the 12% down today. Nothing changed. Nothing really changed. If you just look at the micro tracking here, we broke out over the trend line, over our T to our A. For the bullish short term bullish tracking, we already did our A pullback here between the 618, 6.5. And this thing, what we did today, was just higher low. From here to here, just higher low. There are two cases for this. You already, because it was pre-market and just bounce, you'd already finished the higher low. And it's up from here. Or you still need, because we didn't really, let's look, we didn't perfectly touch the 786. Yeah, we went one little thing over it. You need one more pullback, I would say, to 99 cents, and then you go. Yeah, still fine, no change. Only thing you're not allowed to do is going under 74 cents. That is a no-go. As long as you're not doing that, everything is fine. And just for clarification, our next move are two things. First, we're doing normal tracking, where we just go to $26 for macro A. It's the same like AMC, where you not want to break under this trend line, and A is doing a 618.5 pullback. So you have to go to $27-ish to do this. Or we're not doing normal tracking, and we're already here at IPO, somewhere in here. And the next move is a gap over all-time highs. That's why we're looking at GoPro, because it's looking so fucking interesting. But no change. It just needs more time. A little bit more time. Let's see. Next one, little update to RIOT. And I said RIOT and NIO are in for my taste, the best stocks I have because they are one-to-one. For RIOT, what is the one-to-one for RIOT? This section here is the same like this section here. What do I mean with that? So, left chart, weekly chart, just so we get everything on it. Right side, 8-hour chart. And especially this whole thing is just zoomed in the IPO. So, if you compare this side by side, you have here you see, lower high, you fall down, to EV, you come up again, have these double tops, same like you have these double tops, you fall down, you're coming up again here, do your T, fell down to EV. Only difference here is you have made a higher low here because of volatility, so you didn't do that back here. Then you broke out over your T. You broke out over T. You did a perfect 618 pullback here. And you bounced. 0.618 pullback and bounced. And IPO, you went sideways. Same what we did in the last years. Because RIOT is a slow mover. But in the moment you broke out over this last peak, you did this move. And this move brings you to B. And B is over M. What we did in the last days was we're breaking over this peak. So our next move brings us to macro B, which is over macro M, which is over 231. Or so I would imagine 350, no financial advice, something like that. Careful, it's not a quick mover. I would still expect the peak of this January 2027, maybe early 2027. Yeah. Shares is a no-brainer in my opinion. Options is a little bit shitty because the max strike for 2027 is still $40. I'm still looking for that they open higher strike prices. But in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. It's fucking nice, interesting, and it's playing itself one-to-one like NIO. Let's see. Next one, C3I. And C3I is also really interesting, especially because it has a bullish and a bearish version, which both go up. That's the stupid part about C3I. And it started its move already. So for the old tracking, we have our CLMT for the bullish tracking. Means, in my opinion, till end of this year, you will go up to 27, 28. Then you do a higher low pullback. Then next target is A50 pullback, B76. But the main play is this version here to $30 till end of the year. That's the bullish version. The bearish version is that this wasn't your all-time low. And that you still will go up to $30. This will be your T. And then you do your last pull to a new all-time low. And then you're repeating all this shit. That's the funny point. No financial advice, but in that case, that's I think even the first play I ever had where bullish and bearish versions are going the same way. Yeah? Let's see. It looks fucking interesting. Next one, Unity. And Unity was one of my first ever shown stocks. Also, Unity was perfect because I predicted this pullback on the day. You can search for it on my channel. But it also has perfect tracking. Yeah, we have since the IPO BCLMT for the bullish tracking. All-time low was August 2024. Then we did a massive higher low, but we finished it. Back here, we did a small higher low, and since then we are running. For what is the next moves? The next move is shooting you over $60 in my opinion for A. Here you will do a breakout retest and a pullback because you already saw at the IPO there is a B pullback, so there should be also a pullback. Your B should be going over 110 easily. Then you're doing this pullback and then you're breaking all-time highs in my opinion. So Unity, whatever they will do, yeah, whatever game they will sell or whatever, it's not a meme stock. It's not a penny stock. It won't go bankrupt in my opinion. This is a fantastic play. And it has good tracking and no financial advice. And one last idiot play, GDC. And also here, again, this is even worse than HKD. Really, just saying. Yeah, it's really 100 million percent risky play. Yeah, for the tracking, because it was just because a colleague of and me, we just looked at it. This drop here was a 100% drop without news. Yeah, they needed 5 days to write some bullshit news. Yeah? So we ask ourselves, okay, if this is so stupid, what could be the tracking? Is there even a tracking? And there could be, because you could compare this to this. How? Because here was your C, here was your M, you came up again, this was your T, you fall down again, and you made this last hump. So for the stupid bullish version, you would be right now in here. What would come next? This candle. And this candle easily shoots you up to around 100, 160. Yeah. And you're sitting right now at 10 cents. So if you just throw $50 at it, yeah, that's 500 shares. And also what's interesting is since May 20, we did our last V, in my opinion, could be. And since then, you're just making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher low. And you go more and more vertical. It would be fucking stupid if we do it, but never say never. But as I said, yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but careful. Yeah, this thing can be just gone tomorrow. Yeah, or it is just up tomorrow. Yeah, news would be a buyout, because I think there are talks about a buyout or something like that. It looks interesting, but it is a 100% YOLO play. Okay, it was a shorter video today on purpose, just to get everything through. As always, explanation video here, playlist here, big update video back here. If you liked it, you can leave a like. If you want to see more, you can leave an hour. And well, let's see what happens to AMC and GME this week. See ya.